I figured it'd be fun to do a tutorial where we take an asset from the asset store, a free asset, and we apply the Moba movement system to it. So I found an asset, a free asset on here called Sci-Fi Level. It's created by Mixed Dimensions. Apparently it was made with a package called Game Draw. I'm guessing it's some kind of modeling package. I'm going to take and import this. Now I've already imported this once and there were some issues, so I'm going to show you how to get around those. So in the import process here, let me shrink this so you can see it. In the import let's collapse all these. Okay, so we don't need the standard assets and we don't need the editor because there's just stuff in there that was causing some errors and they're wholly unnecessary. So we're going to import those, and I'm going to pause the recording so you don't have to wait. Okay, and we're back. So I'm going to go and load up the scene for this, and I'm going to focus on one of these because it's apparently way off here. Okay, it's a little dark, so I'm going to take and add a light to it just so we can brighten things up a touch, just so we can see what we're doing. Alright, that's probably good enough. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to establish a ground layer, or a ground floor, that will act as our selection surface for our camera mouse picking. So I'm going to take and grab this. So it looks like they're broken into ground. So let's see what happens if I go and do a search. Okay, so it looks like it gets most of the floor here if I did this search based on ground. So I'm going to take all of these, highlight all of them. I'm going to change their layer to the camera pick so that our system can actually raycast and click on the ground here. It looks like it missed a couple of them here. So take and try to identify. It looks like they didn't separate the ground from the walls. Either way, we can just set that to camera pick as well. I hope it works. We'll find out. Alright, so from there, now let me just take and add. I'm going to use the character from the demo, and you could use the prefab from the demo, the Moba Ethan. And we're going to plop him out here. Looks like the scene is scaled correctly. That's good. Okay, and then as we did from the from the previous simple demo, we could just take our prefabs, our Moba Movement Manager, and we can shove this out here. See if I can get it out there without actually parenting it to something. I can just dump it out here. That'll work. All right, and then I'm going to take the Moba camera rig and we'll dump it out here. And the Moba camera rig is just a modified version of the AutoCam from the standard assets. You can tweak it so it looks differently than what I set the defaults at. So I'll show you how to do that too. Okay, then we also need to do a navigation pass on this. So I'm going to bring up the navigation window here, and we're going to do a bake and see what happens. Oh, look, not so bad. Looks like these edges are a little tight. Let's try see if I can I could pull that in a little bit. Maybe make it the agent radius a little tighter. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty good. Hopefully that he's pretty big compared to this. Might be a little too. All right. That might work. It looks like it got most of the ground here. It missed some of this stuff for some reason. I wonder why that didn't come in. Maybe the slope. Let's try this. Huh. Ground height or step height, maybe? I'm not going to worry about it. Those are issues you can deal with the navigation system. So from there, we've got a navigation. We've got our guy out there. I believe we should be good to go. Let me try running it, see what happens. Oh, looks like there was an existing camera in the scene. I forgot about that. So I just deleted it. All right, so there's our guy. Yep, and he's walking around inside here. Now the camera is very far away. May not be exactly what we want in this case, but all you got to do is go into the Moba camera rig, take the main camera, and then take and change it over to local for the movement type. And I focused in on the camera, and then you can just grab the blue one and zoom it in so it's much closer. Now it looks like it's not centered on him. That's because when the game runs, it will force the camera to center on him. This camera also has a really long focal length, which is going to end up causing it to its field of view is going to end up causing it to look kind of flat. So I'm going to take and pull it out a little bit so you can see more of the 3D depth, and then pull it in a little closer so when we run it, we should see a much closer view now. Oh yeah, a much more intimate view. And that was pretty easy. Now, one thing you'll notice is that it's creating this this spheroid shape, which you may not want for the selection ground. There's an alternate one that comes with the demo. If you go into the demo, into the prefabs, the move arrow. So let me stop this. If you go into the Moba Movement Manager, you'll find that there is a Move To effect prefab. So if you replace that with the move arrow, you'll get the nice little particle effect. Now you can replace that with anything you want, like some third-party piece of artwork that shows little arrows going into the ground or something like that. It's I just put that in there kind of as a placeholder. So you could have something that looks a little better than just a sphere, a spheroid shape. Oops. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. Now this clicking system will work with any kind of camera. It doesn't necessarily need to be the camera rig that I've created. It's going to respond to any camera that you've specified within the Moba Manager. Like if you give it another camera, it'll use that as the picking source. If it's like one that's following the player or whatever, it'll work with that as well. But yeah, that's the basic process. And the only stipulation I would point out is that I would make sure that you isolate the pick layers here. Like you can go in and make sure that's only one layer that's responding to the pick sources, because you don't want it to interfere with any of these other layers. Like say maybe you have a collision layer that's designed to block something special from happening. You don't want to get that mixed up in here, so make sure you only have just the ground layers reacting to the pick events. But yeah, that was pretty easy. I'm looking forward to seeing what people do with this tool, and thanks for watching.